Hello everyone, we're still in lesson 4.5 about the rules of exponents. There are usually two different types of questions. One question says write using exponents, one question says simplify. When they say simplify, you need an answer. Here you can keep it with exponents. How do I mean by exponents? Just like when I say m3 times m2, so I'm gonna do m3 plus 2 because it's multiply, so it's m to the 5th power. This is using exponents. Simplify, this is our lesson. We're going to continue lesson 4.5 in a different way. The first example is 2n to the third and in parentheses 6mn to the power of 7. The easiest way to do this is open up what you have. What does this mean? 2 times n to the third times, which is the parentheses, 6 times m times n to the 7th. Once you open them up, that's how you're going to see where are your like terms. So the first thing I do is I start multiplying my numbers. 2 times 6, which is 12. Where are my like terms? Does an m have a like term? No. So I bring it down to the answer. I have the n's. So it's n3 plus 7, which is n10. Where do I put it? In my answer. So my final answer is 12mn to the power of 10. Once you open them up, that's where you see them. Use your multiplication signs. Here, the second example. Where are my like terms? The a's. Because I'm multiplying, I'm adding my exponents. 2 to the 8th. What is left? b to the third. So it's a8b to the third. Our third example is this. First thing I do is I open them up, which is a to the third times b to the second times a to the fourth times b to the second. I take my like terms, a3 plus 4, which is a7. I take my like terms, b to the second plus 2, which is b to the fourth. What's my final answer? It's this and this, so it's a7b4. The fourth example is this. Now I'm starting to divide. I take my fraction on a side and I start simplifying it. I'm going to divide by 2, which is 12 over 5. I cannot divide anymore. And now I start looking at what's common. What does this mean? A5 times B4 over A times B. I start circling my like terms. A5 minus 1, which is a to the fourth, b4 minus 1, which is b to the third. So my answer is 12, a4, b3 over 5. 5 does not change. Always remember, because my exponents on top are bigger, my answer is going to be in the numerators. Number 5, the first thing I do is I open them up. 54 times a10 times b12. Just like this, I see them more clearer. 60 times a4 times b5. And I start taking my fraction on the side and I simplify it. I think they're both divisible by 6. So it's 9 over 10. And I start looking at my variables. Because it's divide, I subtract my exponents. a10 minus 4, which is a6, b12 minus 5, which is b7. My answer is 9a6 b7 over 10. This is a bit different. I have multiplication and I have division all in one. What do I start doing? I start working with the top. So it's 4 times w5 times 12 times w8. And I rewrite 16 times w2. I can simplify if I can before I multiply. It's easier. I divide by 4, I divide by 4. So it's 1 times w5 times 12 times w8 over 16 divided by 4 is 4 times w2. Can I still simplify my numbers? Yes. 12 and 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. So it's 1 times w5 times 12 divided by 4 is 3 times W8 over 1 times W2. No more numbers left. The ones go away. 1 times any number is 1. Alright, I start off with my variables. W5 and W8, they are multiplied, so I add them. W5 plus 8 is W13. So what do I get as an answer? W13 times 3 over, what's left? W2. Now what do? Because it's divide, I subtract. So my final answer is 3. I'm going to subtract W13 minus 2, which is W11, and it's going to go in my answer. So imagine, after all of this big expression, I get this as an answer. What did I do? I simply opened it up all together, and I started looking at the numbers first to simplify them. I simplified numerator with denominator, and then I simplified again numerator with denominator, and I was left with this. What do? I start off with my numerators with my variables. Because they're multiplied, I add the exponents, so I get a W13, and then I still have a W2 as a denominator. I subtract it from the 13, I get a W11, and I put it in my answer with the 3 I already have. Again, I'm going to give you another example related to number 6. First thing I do is I open them up and I show my multiplication signs. 12 times W7 times 4 times W3 over 3 times W3. I start simplifying my numbers. I can simplify the 12 and the 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, which is 4 times W7 times 4 times W3 over 1 times W3. Now what do? I have no more numbers to simplify. So I multiply 4 times 4, which is 16. On the other side, I take my variables, the numerators, W7 plus 3, which is W10. So my answer for the numerators is 16 W10 over 16 times W10, and I have W3 as a denominator. Again, because this is division, I need to subtract. So it's W10 minus 3, so it's W7. My answer is the 16 and my W7 after I have simplified it. The last example is we have a rectangle and we have the sides. Find the area. Area of a rectangle is length times width. So it's 2W5 times W6. I open them up to be able to see them. Where are my like terms? 2 times W5 times W6. The 2 does not have another number, so I bring it down as it is. What do I do to my exponents? Because it's multiply, I add. So it's W11. So my final answer is 2W11. Okay. So now it was just a continuation of lesson 4.5. Whenever I'm asked to simplify, I need to find an answer. When I'm asked to write using exponents, I just simply leave it as it is, the base number with my exponent.